1 in 26. That's the number of people who will be diagnosed with epilepsy just this year.
The diagnosis can be all-consuming, and no one knows that better than our very own Sarah Carlson. She wanted to share her story during this Epilepsy Awareness Week, and she's been a fierce advocate now to pay it forward for other people. Welcome, Sarah. Thank you for doing this.
And thank you for wearing your purple.
Yeah, we're all purpled out. So
right.
you were first diagnosed, take us back, with epilepsy in 2008.
Right, in 2008, I just felt funny. So my seizures were minor, simple, partial, sounds pretty simple, and I wasn't having the kind that people consider their tonic-clonic or grand mal aware. You see them in TV shows and in movies where people are falling over and convulsing. But we couldn't find a cause, and it was doing a lot of damage. So I ended up having to try medication, none of them worked. We wanted to play a short video too right now of the seizure that I had when I was right here at Channel 3 with you, Susan.
Wisconsin has officially joined 25 other states in a lawsuit against President Obama's healthcare reform law. Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen says Wisconsin is the latest state, including Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Ohio, and Wyoming, to join Florida's suit. The states claiming the Exorcist, Saw Untisracho, and Palais Bringritz by health urgent.
President Obama will head to...
Can I just say, that was the first time I had ever seen a seizure. You handled it much more gracefully than I did, but it was a very big day because we all learned a lot that day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and watching that video, what's it like watching it? Is it hard? Does it bring back memories of that day?
It's interesting. You can tell when I start speaking a bit of what I would call gibberish. I don't remember that part, but I do remember just before that happened, that sinking feeling of, oh no, this isn't just going to be the kind where I'm able to continue. So, and as a memory, long term, I know that was a moment in life that changed a lot because my seizures worsened. But I do encourage people to watch that video because I don't want people to be ashamed of the disability, and I'd become such an advocate at the time. And it went viral, and some people were saying bad things, and some people were saying good for you for being back on TV 3 days later. I wanted people to be able to see what that might look like, and they're all so different. There are so many different kinds.
That was very brave of you, and as I said, it really taught a lot of people a lot of things. Explain your diagnosis a little bit. Is all epilepsy the same?
Right, and I started getting to that before the video. I didn't mean to start there so quickly, but mine is one of dozens of different kinds of seizures, which is, a lot of people don't know. Again, they always think of the bigger ones, so to speak, and that's part of the problem, I think, too. It's so common. 1 in 26 people will be diagnosed in their lifetime. Everyone knows someone. That's the amazing part. So we tried medications, nothing would work. We found a brain tumor. But that was before that video clip that you just saw. We removed the brain tumor, things were going well, but finally I had to make some changes. So that's, I think, the next question that you might have, why did I have to stop? That's maybe one of the hardest things that ever happened to me.
To have to leave news.
To have to leave news. I want to always make it clear, and I tell everybody, on TV or not, that the station was more than supportive. It was my doctor. It was doctor's orders. My seizures were worsening, and they wanted me to have a lower stress, maybe not lower stress, but a slower paced job, I would like to say. It's not that this is super stressful, but it's higher pace and live TV. So I would have that stress in the back of my mind. Could that happen to me again? And that wasn't good for me.
Well, we're glad that you're back, and how are you doing now?
That's a really good question. Thank you. And I'm doing wonderfully. I spent 12 years with seizures, the worst years of my life. Mostly because I had epilepsy strip me from my career, but it was also very depressing. I was on disability. I lost my driver's license. I had so many other issues that I struggled with emotionally that I hope people with epilepsy know they're not alone.
Well, that's the most amazing thing about all of this is people see you today, and it's going to give so many people so much hope that everything will be okay. You ran, what, 5 Chicago marathons while you were in recovery?
I did.
I mean, and I guess the main question of all of this is, what is your advice to other people who are watching tonight?
Well, no matter how cheesy it sounds, honestly, and I do work as an advocate for this reason, is to not give up hope and to really push your doctors and caregivers. If you aren't happy with the care you have or the medicine you're taking, be sure to ask a lot of questions. And here I am, seizure-free 5 years, but I have epilepsy. I take a lot of medication. it could come back, but that's okay too. You know, you have to keep on fighting. And also, I'm going to be working very hard to raise awareness and fundraise for the cause. It means a lot.
Very important. Thank you for all that you do, and we'll be talking. Well, you'll be coming up later on in the show. Yeah,
I'll be
another
talking to the
discussion.
executive director of the Epilepsy Foundation in another half hour or so.
We're looking forward to that.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Sarah.
We're taking a live look right now. It's beautiful at Spokane, Washington's Riverfront Park. The weather there is 54 and mostly cloudy. I think it's better here. The city's name comes from the Spokane tribe, meaning children of the sun. A fun fact, Father's Day was started in Spokane back in 1910 by resident Sonora Smart Dodd. It's quite the name, too. Well, as we mentioned earlier in the show, November is Epilepsy Awareness Month. 1 in 26 people will develop epilepsy in their lifetime. And today, we have Allison McCartan here joining us, the new executive director of the Epilepsy Foundation of Wisconsin. Thank you so much for being here, and congrats on your new role.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for having us, especially November, Epilepsy Awareness Month.
And that's why we're
Great
in
timing.
purple. So let's talk about that 1 in 26 number. We use it a lot.
We do.
I should say we, but there's a lot more depth, especially here in Wisconsin.
Sure. So 1 in 26 is the number we use of people diagnosed throughout their lifetime with epilepsy.
Yeah.
1 in 10 have a seizure, and they estimate about 100,000 people across the state of Wisconsin have epilepsy. That's about 1 to 2% of the entire population.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
And it's a lot of kids.
There's a lot of kids. Unfortunately, we feel like the prevalence is a lot. It's the 4th most common neurological disorder, right behind migraine, stroke, and Alzheimer's, yet it doesn't get the research and the attention it deserves. So thank you for the opportunity today.
Of course. Now, one of the other things I know that we've talked about a lot privately is the stigma. I didn't get to talk about that privately earlier, but talk about that stigma behind epilepsy and what goes on there for folks.
Yeah, unfortunately with epilepsy, we feel like there is a stigma associated with it. We hear that from our clients living with epilepsy and their caregivers. And what the foundation likes to do is try to turn a negative into a positive. And we're really focusing on education. We believe if we can reduce the fear of epilepsy through education, that we're also in turn reducing the stigma attached to it.
And education, like things in schools. I mean,
correct.
Seizure first aid. If students and teachers know it, they're not afraid of it, or they don't think that it's strange when they see something happen. And so many different kinds of epilepsy too.
Sure. Another misconception, Sarah, which you were so grateful to share your experience with and show your actual seizure on the news, is people think that there's only the tonic-clonic, the old name, the grand mal seizure, where someone loses consciousness and drops to the ground and continues to shake. But there is a whole array of seizures from picking at your shirt or blinking or staring, and I think that we can be more eloquent in how we understand epilepsy and its diagnosis by understanding that seizures impact people differently depending on what part of the brain they're coming from.
Right, and we need to be inclusive and understanding. We want to talk about the Epilepsy Foundation now. We're so happy to have you filling the role of leader. What is the foundation doing to try to reach out to these people?
Sure. As you mentioned, we're doing a lot of seizure first aid. We're getting into schools. We're getting into law enforcement. We're getting into businesses and civic organizations. And again, in the hopes of reducing the stigma and making sure people know what to do if they witness a seizure, of keeping those individuals safe. We also have a camp for children with epilepsy, a week-long overnight camp for some of those kids. Due to their medication regimen, they may not be able to attend a more traditional camp type setting. So we're thrilled we're able to offer that. We have an adult retreat as well, again, taking control of your diagnosis. We also have our support. We have a support group. We have a few different support groups, some virtual, some in person. We have walks, a celebration of people with epilepsy. There's a lot of times that there's dark days in a diagnosis, and we're bringing people together to celebrate their loved ones through our walks. And then finally, tomorrow, we're hosting an educational conference. We have top neurologists specializing in epilepsy, epileptologists that are going to speak to the epilepsy community, their caregivers, about current treatment options, whether it be diet or surgery or new medications on the market, and then just an opportunity for a question and answer session.
And I know that educational conference is tomorrow here in Madison, and I know I've been to it, and a lot of people, there's the graphic right there. It's not too late to register, and people connect and meet each other and go, oh, I'm not the only one that feels this way, and learning so much and hearing from the top doctors in the area, and we have such phenomenal professionals here.
Absolutely. And I think that is something that the foundation really takes a strong role in our mission of making sure there is connection, that nobody feels alone in their diagnosis.
And I can say too, and you weren't here when it happened to me in Wisconsin, but when I was first diagnosed, the foundation made a big difference in my life. I needed to reach out. I needed somebody to be on my team. So thank you for what you do. And Allison from the Epilepsy Foundation of Wisconsin. Appreciate you being here.